Alright. Alright. Well, back in my medicine. A bit late, but helps me get to sleep. So, we're gonna start. And we are finding so much as soon as we realize it's not the only part of the map we can go to. Leveling up, probably be able to close those 2 rift. Then at I don't remember the names of it. I got a bunch of crafting resources though, just ready for the taking. I don't know. I didn't know what to say, but we're gonna come up with a topic. I'm doing this really, really late, but I do understand that if I do things later, then maybe I might get more views because people will be wanting. This is a really complicated puzzle too. I can probably just find it on my own, but okay. All right. So where do I want to start? I know that it's really hard for me to think sometimes. I usually really got my ideas during the nighttime, and I really appreciate like late nights. I watched a bunch of movies with my friends, and they're all gone except for one. He's sleeping downstairs. So it's basically just me now, and I really appreciate them staying and watching everything, and it's really cool to have friends like that. These two I don't know about. Like they're not in the. They're not in the thing. They're not in the. It's just really weird because like these are in there. They're right there. Like these two, but not these two. Maybe I need to go. If I get it right, that would be cool, but if I don't, that would completely suck. But I'm just gonna leave it, and then I'm gonna run around and like with my head cut off, because that's the best way for me to find things. It's probably over here in some capacity. Found a bunch of areas. What? And there are 2 enemies up here. That's really weird that there are 2 enemies beneath me. And that's where the. I think I have to open more of the fades, those circular boxes. if I'm supposed to read anything here. Or loot anything. I don't think so. But this looks weird. I think I've been through here before. Okay, let's look at the quest map, because I have no idea where I'm going. It's a landmark. There are signs of several Grey Wardens passing through the area, but scouts have been unable to track them with all the bandits around. Let's look for him. Different clues. But yeah, I lead with my emotions, but I mean, I hope people eventually, not eventually, but I hope the people that I do start to endear, start to see me in the same way, and maybe a mature one, because I think the woman I thought was mature, which was my ex-wife, she was not mature. She was very, very childish, and also very spiteful sometimes. And she expected me to still be her friend, because I didn't really find that to be of any real niceness, I guess. Apostate's Landing. Oh, that's really weird. Why is there... I kind of wanted to eliminate it, but... So we gotta look for more signs of them, of the wardens, basically. This looks like a cave area. No, it's not fruit though.
Let's look around.
That's a bear. And it's running out. And it's dead. Alright, bear hide too. It's the end of that area. And a save to go. There you go. What's this? Amulet of Constitution? No, I don't need that. Amulet of Constitution? Yeah, I don't need that. I grow more convinced that what is ever here is now long gone. Still would not do for us to miss him through the laziness, and he was one of the most skilled warriors. If anyone could hide himself here, it would be he. One of the fishermen shows promise with a spear, and his shoulders like an ox from throwing in the nets all day. He asks about joining the Grey Wardens. I think I already read this. My order is not to stay where I can seek new recruits even without circumstances, or because of them, I suppose. I did not hurt his cause. We'll get super gay. Anyways, the darkspawn are louder than I thought, and also there's just gayness all around in this not in this, but there was like a movie. It's called Disguise an Agent or something like that, or Different Agent. It's like a they use glitter and kitties and stuff like that, and a lot of small girls find them awesome, but it just wasn't the thing I was going for. Shocked, burning and dead. Maybe I can loot him. No living. So we're out of the circle, I guess. Oh, I found that. That's what it was. It's like he's not here anymore. Okay, alright. Was not. Oh, okay, I gotta go to the places where I didn't save that because I didn't save it in one of my files, I guess. I'm trying to get as much fucking crafting materials as I can because I'm gonna level up these motherfuckers. How's it going, person? If you would like to message me, you can. And we can talk about something different than what I'm talking about right now. But for the most part, I'm still talking about my emotional problems that I have every day. Sometimes my schizoaffective disorder. It reacts with the I actually used to smoke weed a lot, and the reason why I smoked weed is because I thought it helped my condition. And when I started taking medication, I realized that wasn't the case. It kind of gives me like a few hours of like just like blind inadherence sometimes, and I basically just ignore my symptoms, and I don't know. It's just like over time it can probably have a change, but it's probably just as useful as the medication, and in most ways. I was thinking that eventually though I might try to dude is not going down. He is fucking done. How's it going, viewer? If you would like to message me, you can. If you're not the first messenger and your connection's messed up, maybe you would like to. We are doing this a fucking day. I'm trying to get these taunted a bunch and gonna go axing on him and stuff like that. Alright, he's dead. Oh no, he's not. I want to get a staff because that's a lot of life. Glowing key. Oh, got a bear. I guess doing that causes bears. Doing a lot of things causes bears, probably, in real life. So, leaving food out in the forest, the normal things, instead of fighting a mage. take all the bear hide. A glowing key. Spent serpent stone. Alright, there's gonna be assholes everywhere now. Alright, let him fight it out. Let him fight it out. Let him fight it out. Don't go near him. Don't go near him. Don't go near him. Let the bear take him up, take a little bit out of him. Don't do nothing. Alright, thank you for the niceness. The bear's gonna kill them because they're stupid. I don't want to like. You're not. He's like, he can take on all of us. Yeah, he's a little bear. He's gonna die in us too. Little bastard. Probably better loot.
I wonder what lies beneath those waves.
Oh, more loot. Cotton. Cool. Okay, so we're gonna go up these hills. Into the mountains. Alright, so I'm gonna go around this rock formation. This little trail. Okay, so we're almost to a good place when you look around. So yeah, currently trying to get to my my sleeping medication replaced. It's going to be a long road ahead, and if I'm able to get a sativa or an indica blend as far as marijuana goes, that'll be cool. If I can't, then it's no biggie. So silver nug fruit charm, silver nug foot charm. Let's go. Inventory. See what I can get rid of. Let's go with armor. There's not enough armor. So yeah, let's get rid of weapon. That therapeutic greatsword is just dumb. Silver nug foot charm. How's it going, viewer? If you would like to message me, you can. If you are that same viewer from earlier, hello again. You can still message me. Yeah, I had a lot of problems that I needed to deal with. My dad kind of like reinforced my my own what is it? It's stuff that wasn't healthy. And I love my dad, but my dad basically was gonna die. They had a doctor's visit, and he had and he did this on his own. I found this out through my sister, who kept in touch with him a lot more than I did. but a lot more specific stuff than I did. He had a clog in his artery and his neck, and it was leading to the parts of his brain, and it was really hard to talk about at the time, but I think that now that some time has passed, I'm kind of over it, because my dad kind of didn't. My dad kind of didn't want to live. I'm actually obviously the opposite. I'm not gonna lead in my dad's. Was it a picture of a mosaic thing? He kind of encouraged some bad habits that like when I was quitting smoking. I was quitting smoking, and I was gonna quit, and I was 4 months in, and he handed me a cigarette, and I was just like, Dad, I need a cigarette or something. I need something to calm my nerves. And he was like, here, son, here you go. And I was like, thanks, Dad, thanks. And then kind of hating him a little bit, but I realized that I needed to quit there, but I just didn't. And a little bit of his kind of sentimental, suicidal tendencies kind of rubbed off. So I was a little bit depressed, and I gave in. And now I still smoke. I smoke my brand, but even still, it's just something I shouldn't. Wow, the wolves are pretty much easy to kill right now. I realized that I didn't need to keep smoking cigarettes, but I kept on because I'm still in my young years, and I'm not a runner really. I don't run a lot, and it's a good thing that I don't run a lot. And that's just excuses, but for a suicidal tendency. But that's also my sickness as well. Part of me just doesn't believe that smoking cigarettes kills people. I really think that it's other problems. It's not eating right. It's drinking too much alcohol all the time, and doing too many things at once, basically. And I don't do those things. I smoke maybe a pack, maybe a half a pack of cigarettes a day. And I don't do all those things that I used to. I don't do those mind-altering drugs, and I'm better for it, because I think that a lot of times they made me believe in certain things that it empowered me. It definitely empowered me. But what empowered me was me I really thought that was a cool thing, like the cool chest and stuff like that. Right, I just got a stupid amulet. Alright. I wish you could take, I wish you could take freaking, that would be the coolest ever, if you could, take, on, friends and stuff like that. That would be so cool if, this is more like Final Fantasy instead of it being so dismal and stupid. I would love to have a bear, just maul somebody on my command. That would be awesome. Not exactly, but, oh my god, it's a bear. No, run away. I think it was easier for me to keep smoking, and I think that the point of the matter is no matter what, smoking never really kills people. It's their diet. It's their diet and what they take in, and it's the amount of alcohol they constantly consume, or the amount of drugs they constantly take that brings them towards that kind of threshold. And a lot of times, I think death is on my door right now. Not death is on my door, but need anything. Sturdy scout hat, schematic. Cool. There was a fire over there and I had to push fire on it. You fight fire with fire. I think that the real reason why I started smoking again is because I realized that smoking really doesn't kill people. It's just carbon monoxide in small doses actually even toughens your lungs up, really, if you think about it. It doesn't make your lungs black. That's stupid. Doing shit like fucking breathing in harsh carbon monoxide while you're fucking working on your car basically could probably kill you more than a cigarette could. And really realizing that is the point of the matter is that, like, no, that dude's, that they did that. They fucking cooked his shit to make it look bad. It's like, look at these lungs. That was in the 80s too. Like those lungs. Did anybody see those lungs happen chance to look at the reason why they think that cigarettes actually kill people or something like that? And they don't. My dad was just set to die, and he was set to keep on eating cheese and a whole bunch of different stuff that was bad for him, and it really didn't do anything for the thing that was in his mouth. It really didn't do anything for him. So. Yeah, I keep on getting him the shock, and he gets him the frozen, and he's gonna fucking die now. Trying to run away, he's a little bitch. No, I'm just messing. Yeah, I really think my dad really overdid it with all the things that was in him. He really got a bunch of concussions during his football years. He was 310 pounds, all muscle, and he ran a 4.5. Like, that shit is insane. My dad was literally NFL material, and when he probably got hit the wrong way, and he told me about one hit that he fucking grinded down his helmet to a 45-degree angle. And shit was insane. My dad went through some really, really crazy things, and I didn't think he wanted to remember those things. I didn't think that he wanted to be that person anymore. He wanted to be... And I don't think he had it in him to keep on being that person, you know? And it's hard to say, it's really hard to say, because I didn't want him to go, I didn't want him to do anything bad to himself. I wanted him to live long enough to be able to see my kids, you know? But, I don't know. I know I was pretty much a late bloomer, so I realized that I'd have kids later on in my life. And that's all. I just thought that he'd be in my corner physically, you know. But he was the stuff that he said throughout my childhood hinted. I think now with all this stuff that I realized he said, basically the way that he said it was just like he was just telling me goodbye. So, and that's. This is the biggest disappointment ever. I didn't know he went through that shit. I didn't know on a daily basis he had to fucking constantly get massages and crazy shit and stuff like that. It just makes me a little bit more depressed sometimes. But he was a good guy. He was a good guy. He just didn't want to be that good guy in those crazy situations because he kind of got run down and shit, so it was hard for him to keep going through fucked up situations, and he just didn't have the strength in him anymore. So it feels good to get this out. feels good to get this out in the air. And God, I'm sure if you're area, but outside of there's a fisherman in the area further than like the Great Blights, like I deferred of some catch is better. They were deferred, so a friendly folk. They were even deferred to me once they saw that I commanded the other wardens, and a few even Ferelden who were watching Elf command. Men without pause. They were friendly folk, after all. This land has suffered in the past years. After all, this land has suffered in the past years. I hope they find some peace.
This belongs to the wardens.
And I think playing these games has brought me so much joy, and experiencing all the stuff that the game has to offer. It's not escape. It's more like I get to experience another version of what the world could have been. And I think, and movies where it used to be when I was younger, they used to be little escapes sometimes, and not really escapes, but just a chance to see how life would be in a different world. And that's why I love fantasy so much. Yes, I'm a huge nerd, so it's just the reason why I didn't want to go into anime so much, because I didn't want to completely lose what it was that made it so important to me. So that's the reason why I just felt like if I kept it to a minimum, if I kept the experiencing it to a minimum, I'd appreciate the stories that I actually even went through. And weebs, they do something that's kind of terrible to the whole situation. They go from one story to another and just binge it and binge it. That's been the whole kind of like culture of the 2000s and everything else. Anyway, and I think that's hard to do, because you go from appreciating one story and really getting it out. I mean, the reason why I don't look at a lot of anime, and I don't constantly do that stuff. I just felt like, to fully appreciate the real story behind it, to fully appreciate the author's intentions, and really get into the story, there has to be some neutral elements, and not just like to realize like, oh my god, like escape and vat of confusion. No, to really look at the elements of the story and want to be able to make that story, or see that story through and fully. To really see that story through, you have to kind of not put yourself in the character's shoes. Put an empty body or empty person in those characters' shoes, and see the reason why. God, I have so much stuff to sell. I can come across a bunch of different other weapons, and I'm not going to keep on going back to. But that's the point, is to really appreciate a story So I have to fan out constantly and I just have to take time to understand the character's motives, to realize that no, they don't live in a vacuum, and some stories don't measure up because everyone's constantly fighting in a situation, and there's not that many people in the world, you know. I'm not saying that like, oh, that would never happen in real life. It's like, no, it just wouldn't happen like that. People wouldn't constantly be all the way like, they wouldn't be honorable, you know. Not everybody fights honorably because everyone assumes in war that everyone is a terrorist. Really, everyone. I mean, that's the basic thing that I've gotten throughout all of what war is. The reason why I watch it play out, or the reason why I want it to play out, is because still a trace of him, but I feel the dark spawn in the ground below. Could be lurking close to him. Perhaps preparing to die with honor. I doubt it, but this is the only lead we have so far. Confess that this seems a fool's errand at times, given how much is at stake. We saw bandits harassing the fishermen, and we interviewed the fishermen. Thanked us. Though I fear the bandits will return again in greater numbers, and we will not always be here to help. Nevertheless, as long as we are here, the fishermen are safe. Dreams continue, as they do every night. They must make it hard for us to sleep, but we must persist. Hopefully, the others will have found a solution by the time we return in the meantime. Now, see, I was 240 pounds and I ran a 4.7, but I was a lineman, so I never really got that hit, you know. I was never the guy running the ball, and I didn't really want to be the guy running the ball because I really didn't like football. You know, I wasn't always obsessed with, oh my God, who's got the ball? Who's got the ball? Like, no, I'm gonna do my job first, and then if the ball gets off, that's good. But if I'm going to do my job first, then the ball got off, and that's the reason why I do my job. So I didn't get that many scrapes or bruises, but I got a pretty good amount of trauma probably, and I tell you, that's the reason why I don't have that big of an, and not to say that big of a neck, but I have big neck muscles. Like, I used to push 210, 300-pound men back, and I was, 240 maybe. I bench pressed 315 pounds at max. So, like, there was a lot of things that I did to be able to do the things that I needed to do in order to, I don't know, it's just, every night they make it hard for the sleep, but we must persist. Hopefully others will find the solution to our return. Meantime, sing up. Every time I sing a song of Ardul to myself to clear my mind as I can.
Must have moved on.
Moved on to where?
They're searching for someone.
On war business, maybe? Secret missions or whatever it is they get up to where there's no light.
Whoever the wardens are seeking, he's led them away from here.
Who's got the rock attack? That's badass, dude. That's amazing, man. But that's the reason why I think most of my problems came from. I was wondering why my dad was acting so strange, and I got my answer, so I mean, at least I'm happy about that. So and maybe I just shielded myself from it for so long because I didn't want to believe it. You know, I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe anything was wrong. I didn't want to believe my dad was having those certain feelings. Wow, even so freaking far away, that was amazing. I got my answer, so, I mean, I quickly realized that my dad was basically killing himself. He's in pain 24/7, I'm sure, and he was constantly in pain. His feet constantly hurt him all the time. He never had any time to himself sometimes. I mean, not to say that he never had time to himself, but he never had time to think. But he was always in pain. So it was like that was his girlfriend. His pain was his girlfriend. His pain was leading him off a path that no one could get to, and his pain just made him a different person. So I didn't go down. I could have gone down this way the whole time. And I saw that different person. I saw that person that didn't care about different things. I saw that person that constantly argued, and no matter what, Mary did some really nice things for him. I really don't care for my stepbrothers sometimes, but they didn't have, it wasn't their responsibility. So, and my dad thought about it a long time ago, according to what my sister said, and if he wanted to go quickly, I guess, and not in much pain. I don't know if he really wanted to go sometimes, but I think it was better than being in 24/7 pain all the time. But medicine's kicking in, so I'm at 42 minutes. But it's okay. And it'll be okay. And I realize it'll be okay. And I understand there's no way to go around this. You know? There's just stuff you have to accept. There's that I have to accept, and there's nothing that I could have done, because I wasn't a doctor, because I wasn't a scientist. If I knew my dad was suffering from something, I would have worked so hard to try to stop it. But he kept it to himself because he didn't want to be anybody's responsibility. He didn't want to be anybody's what he thought was burden, I guess. So, and he didn't want me to work that hard, because I would miss I would miss like the end of my depression, which was basically Jessica Negri being positive, and that I thank her for. But I don't want to get in her way. I don't want to bother her. I don't want to bother anyone. I want to be healthy again. I want to be thinner than I am. I want to be better, and I don't want to constantly have to work out to lose weight or something like that. I want to be. That's what I want to be. I want to be healthier. I've noticed it sometimes that I'll start to lose weight, and then I cheat a little bit, because I like the little moments, you know, like the little moments of stuff, and then I gain a little bit of weight back, and then I lose a little bit of weight, and I gain a little bit back, and I lose a little bit more weight. It's like two steps forward, one step back. It's every time, and it's hard to deal with, but it's the healthiest way to lose the weight, and I know that for a fact. That I don't want to rip my muscles. Don't want to go for it 100%. Don't want to constantly feel the pain or the burn, I guess. You know what that is, huh? I was like, yeah. It's my body aching from you pushing it too far. I think there are more really cool moments. I get to have cool moments with my nieces. I get to do things. I'm not constantly driven all the time. I'm always working on one thing or working on another thing or something like that. I didn't realize that the I don't know, just holding on to memories, holding on to those things, holding on to constant missing my dad, or holding on to constant like wanting my dad to live forever. It would have caused me pain, and it would have drove me insane. No matter who was around me, no matter who was giving me that pep talk or something like that. So I know that what I really truly wanted to do was I wanted to play video games, and I wanted to do the good parts, have the good parts of my life become the best parts of everyone else. That's one thing I'm doing, so, you know. So what if nobody watches? Or a couple of people watch. I'm sorry for like... Fire over there, dude. Fight it with fire. I try to come up with my own anecdotes sometimes. My dad made me a really happy person by not telling me so much about what he had done or where he had gone through. He didn't tell me about the after effects of it all. He didn't want me to get into football because he was afraid that I might do the same thing. Or you have the same type of injury, you know? I just really love him. I just really love him, and I really miss him. And I had a few drinks tonight, so I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a good time, and not doing terrible things, and just playing a video game. Hoping for the best. For everyone, that is the best stuff. The best. Class map. Oh. So I'm gonna go all the way back here, I guess. I think here's where it starts. think he just wants me to be happy. So, this is what makes me happy. This is exactly what makes me happy. This is basically my tribute. My dad trying to be in my corner all the time, and never in his own. So we're going here. Let's see where the night checks. I think we go in the back lane of this right here. And check out these trees. Check out this back lane right here. Oh man. It's very weird. I'm gonna do one more hour, or not 1 more hour, but I'm gonna do a couple of hours, maybe. No. I think I'm gonna end it here, and I realize that there are a lot of things that I'm going through still, and I still need time to heal. But it's always good to get it out. Whatever's bothering you, whatever's getting on your nerves, it doesn't affect you as much if you just express your feelings. It really doesn't, and it's better off. And thank you, viewers, whoever you are. I don't thank y'all enough, but I'll still bear the scars of this anger, but the blades you carry are a little past. As Trifer served as master, as Siren heard the might and maker, the lowest and most lost may still find their way. We will be taken care of. We need only to have faith. That's what Ivor says, anyway. I think that's why I'm so quick to even know Omens, because I guess I want to forget. But I really shouldn't. I really shouldn't forget. I shouldn't forget the lessons my dad taught me. I shouldn't forget the lessons my dad told me. Sometimes just live in the moment, you know? And have fun. The past, and the future, and all the other different stuff. And yeah.
This area
Excuse
is
me.
rife with smugglers.
I'll tell you something. Oh man, I'm so. Oh, there's a path up there. There were so many reasons why I love my family. Alright, I think that's it. You are your own one-person bomb squad. I'm a little drunk, but you can use situations that you think are happening. But if they're not, you need some therapy. Have a good day, and be yourself. As much of yourself as you can be. With all the ties and strings and the craziness or the anime, it doesn't define me. When I watch, it doesn't define me. You know? It's fun to watch with friends. And it's fun to look up. And it's fun to do and have fun watching, doing things. I'm really tired. I'm gonna let it go off for it. Have a good day. I'm not making complete sense, so I'm going to bed.